Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this timepiece, you can see it, and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing a model launched back in 2010, one of the most innovative travel time watches on the market. This is the Parmigiani Fleurier Tonda Hemispheres, 42mm in red gold. It's an ergonomic dream on my 16cm circumference wrist. Although 42 and a complication means it is a large watch. Nevertheless, it's slender at only 11.4mm thick, and you can see that the idea behind the Tonda case to physically separate the ergonomics from the canister for the dial and the movement, it's a triumph. Even though this watch is 49mm lug-to-lug, I can still recommend it for a wrist as small as 14cm in circumference because those teardrop style lugs nicely arc themselves around the wrist. You can see that to good effect from this angle. This one's not going to splay out over your wrist in awkward fashion if you do have a smaller wrist. The strap is difficult to figure. It's between 24 and 25mm, and as you can see, this is highly custom and a very non-standard lug spacing. The strap, however, is a wonderful piece. It's made by Parmigiani stakeholder Hermes. Large rectangular scale alligator leather on the top, semi-gloss monotone stitch, sheer-sided construction showing that there is quite a bit of leather here, and then on the underside, a butter-smooth Hermes calfskin. You can see the strap is a Hermes strap in outstanding condition, and you'll also note one of the quirks of the watch's design. It's that the strap is designed with the case as essentially a unit. There's a little bit of a recess in the case flank, and it's almost like a little garage into which the strap is withdrawn so that the lugs are drilled very close to the case, and you can pull the strap straight down around a small wrist, so there's no constraint against the case flank, and you get a more integrated aesthetic. Now, the buckle is beautifully made, high polish, twin trigger release, all of rose gold, entirely polished inside and out. It's a piece that is detailed right down to the small functional components like the spring-loaded ceramic pin snaps to maintain its tight tolerances over time. And you can see the design continuity as the profile of the buckle itself perfectly matches the profile of the Tonda teardrop lugs. Moving in closer, you can see those lugs. They are dramatically stepped out from the case. Each one is its own sculptural form, a volume that has very little to do with the form or function of the case canister. They're stepped out and curved to make the watch easier to wear and visually distinct from anything else on the market. Two crowns for controlling two separate time functions. But first, we need to discuss this dial. As you can see, several different layers. Starting at the top of the canyon pinion, you have those two hybrid style fusion delta hands as Parmigiani has dubbed them, and then you have several platform dial components. This is an open-worked dial, and there are several platforms for the constant seconds, for the hours of the day, for the outer minutes, and you can see all of this is mounted atop the base plate of the movement, which is rose gold plated, featuring Côte de Genève. It's quite dramatic. A couple of different color cues. You can see there's red on some of the sub-registers, and then there's a sort of skeleton framework. If you take everything atop the dial and put it together, it's almost like looking at the skeleton over a building under construction. Open-worked dials have a wonderful half-finished mechanical look to them, and this watch is no exception. You can see the motion works for the hands at center, and the motion works for the center of the second time zone, and I'm going to show you how this works. Parmigiani reasoned, logically, that a true travel watch should be able to accommodate any time differential between time zones, which is why you can set the hours and the minutes of the Tonda hemisphere independently of the time at center. Now you see how I can move everything in sync, but I can really accommodate those idiosyncratic time zones or airport offsets that might be as little as 15 minutes diverged from the local time zones. You'll also note that the watch, I'm going to make sure I'm out of the danger zone for a date change here, but the watch also features stop seconds, and there is a quick set mechanism for the date over at 9 o'clock, and the 9 o'clock date being one of many quirks on this watch. By the way, all of the dial side components of the two motion works, beautifully finished, and right down to the detail, the contrast between the satin and the polish. Turn it all over. You have a Parmigiani manufacture movement. It's built by Vaucher Manufacture, which is one of the Parmigiani companies. Dials, hands, case components, movements, small parts. Parmigiani is a bit like a Portuguese man of war. A bunch of self-supporting constituent companies, like the independent organisms of the man of war, coming together to form a viable and coherent watchmaking brand. And Vaucher is the movement house. This is the Vaucher caliber Parmigiani Fleurier 337 automatic winding 38 joules wheels adjusted in 5 positions like a chronometer. Let's see how close we can get without corrupting the image. The twin mainspring barrels giving the watch a 50-hour power reserve and very even torque release, so the watch won't run unduly fast when fully wound, nor will it run too slow when almost discharged. That's the advantage, even torque, of a twin barrel arrangement. You can see the rose gold rotor has been cut with a rose lathe, rose gold with guilloche, satin finish, and chamfering that is polish around the edges. You can see Côte de Genève across the bridges, black polished screw heads, and micro engine turning on the base plate, beaten away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. All of this water resistant down to 50 meters, far more than you would expect on a standard dress watch. If you dare to be different and you want a movement from the company that supplies most of the Richard Mille calibers, that's exactly what you're getting here. Shh, don't tell your RM11 wearing friend, but the same movement in this watch in a different spec and a different aesthetic powers his RM11. See this one, all manufacture, and make it yours on the watch box. Parmigiani Hemispheres by night.